The silverware sounds wrong, too sharp, too deliberate, like someone rehearsed the way forks meet porcelain in this place. Darnell Brooks sits at a table he can't afford, wearing a shirt he ironed twice, staring at a menu with no prices, the kind of restaurant where silence costs more than noise, where the lighting doesn't just illuminate, it judges. He shouldn't be here. The woman across from him, Roxanne, sits perfectly still, navy blazer, hair pulled back so tight it looks painful. Her smile never moves past her lips. She hasn't touched her water glass, hasn't adjusted her napkin, hasn't done anything that suggests she's human enough to be nervous. "You look uncomfortable," she says. Darnell shifts. His work boots feel heavy under the white tablecloth. "Just not used to places like this. You'll get used to it." Something in her tone lands wrong. Not warm, not cold, calculated. The waiter appears, young, white, the kind of polite that feels like a uniform. He freezes when he sees Roxanne, not surprise, recognition. Then his eyes flick to Darnell and something tightens in his expression. "Ms. Hale," the waiter says carefully, "your parents just arrived." Darnell's stomach drops. "Parents?" Roxanne doesn't look at him. She adjusts her bracelet, smooths her already smooth blazer. "There's something I didn't tell you about tonight." The room shifts, not literally, but the air pressure changes. Conversations at nearby tables lower. A woman in pearls glances over, then whispers to her husband. Darnell leans forward. "Roxanne, what's going on?" She finally meets his eyes. And for the first time since he met her 2 weeks ago in the elevator of the building where he mops floors and she signs checks, he sees something real in her face. Not guilt, strategy. "I need you to trust me," she says quietly. "Just for tonight." "Trust you to do what?" But before she can answer, the room parts. Not because anyone moves, because power has a way of rearranging space without asking. An older white man enters first, silver hair, tailored suit that probably costs more than Darnell's car. His face isn't cruel, it's worse. It's the kind of face that's forgotten how to consider people beneath a certain tax bracket. Behind him, a woman, blonde going gray in that expensive way, diamonds that catch light like tiny warnings. They walk toward the table. Darnell's mouth goes dry. "Hey, I'm really glad you're here. Be honest, have you eaten today? What did you have? Tell me that, your location, and the time. And if you're new, help me prove something wrong. My mother said drill stories would never reach 10,000 subscribers, but stories like this deserve to be heard. So don't leave without subscribing. It feels empty when you come in and leave without saying a word. Now, let's continue." Roxanne stands. Darnell starts to stand too, but his knee hits the table. The water glasses rattle. He steadies them quickly, heat crawling up his neck. "Mom, Dad," Roxanne's voice is smooth, practiced. "I'm so glad you could make it." Her mother's smile is a knife wrapped in silk. "Darling, you said you had a surprise." "I do." Roxanne turns, reaches down, and before Darnell can process what's happening, her hand closes around his wrist. Not gentle, not rough, purposeful. She pulls him to his feet. The room watches. Every fork's moving. Every conversation pauses. Even the pianist's hands hesitate on the keys. Roxanne loops her arm through Darnell's. Her grip tightens, a warning he can feel in his bones. "Mom, Dad," she smiles. "This is my fiance." The word lands like a glass shattering in reverse, silence imploding inward. Her father's expression doesn't change, but his eyes do. They move over Darnell slowly, starting at his face, down to his shirt, clean but not expensive, to his hands, calloused, scarred from years of maintenance work, to his boots. Those boots. The ones Darnell keeps because they still have miles left. The ones he polished this morning, not knowing he'd need them to survive a test he didn't study for. Her mother's smile freezes. Actually freezes. Like someone paused a recording mid-frame. "Fiance," she repeats. Not a question, a correction. "That's right." Roxanne's voice doesn't waver. "Darnell and I are engaged." The father extends his hand, slowly, like he's considering whether to bother. Darnell takes it. The handshake is firm, too firm, the kind of grip meant to measure. "Harold Hale," the man says. His voice is dry, empty of warmth. "And you are?" "Darnell Brooks." "Darnell." Harold's eyes narrow slightly. Roxanne's never mentioned you. We've been private, Roxanne cuts in smoothly. Her mother sits, doesn't wait for anyone else, just lowers herself into the chair like she's granting permission for the rest of them to exist. Please, she says, gesturing. Sit. Darnell sits. His heart is pounding so hard he can hear it in his teeth. Roxanne sits beside him. Her hand finds his under the table, squeezes once, not reassurance, a command, play along. The waiter returns, takes orders. Darnell doesn't hear. His mind is racing, trying to piece together how he went from scrubbing floors to sitting across from people who look at him like he's a stain they're deciding whether to remove. Harold folds his hands, leans back, studies Darnell with the focus of someone appraising livestock. So, Darnell, he says slowly, what is it you do? The question sounds polite. It isn't. Darnell swallows. I work in facilities management. Facilities, Harold nods. That's maintenance, correct? The word maintenance hangs in the air, not an insult. Worse, a classification. I supervise building operations, Darnell says evenly. Safety, repairs, compliance. Compliance, Harold's mouth twitches, almost a smile. That must be fulfilling. Roxanne's hand tightens under the table. Her mother leans forward. Her perfume is expensive, suffocating. And you have a daughter, I understand? Darnell's chest tightens. Yes, ma'am. Zaire. She's 8. Zaire. The mother repeats it slowly, testing the syllables. That's unique. It means river in Swahili, Darnell says quietly. How worldly. Her smile doesn't reach her eyes. And her mother? The air leaves the room. She's not in the picture, Darnell says. Harold raises an eyebrow. Not in the picture, meaning? Meaning she left. Silence. Not the polite kind, the kind that dissects. Roxanne's mother sips her wine. So you're raising her alone? Yes, ma'am. That must be difficult. Financially. The word financially is a scalpel. Darnell keeps his voice steady. We manage. Harold leans forward. His voice drops, low enough that only the 4 of them can hear. Mr. Brooks, he says, I'm sure you understand that my daughter moves in certain circles, circles that require discretion, stability, the kind of foundation that... Dad? Roxanne's voice cuts clean. We're not discussing this tonight. Harold's eyes shift to her. Something passes between them, something Darnell can't read but can feel. Her father leans back, smiles, not at Darnell, at Roxanne. Of course, Harold says softly. Forgive me. But his eyes stay on Darnell, measuring, calculating, deciding. The food arrives. No one eats. Roxanne's mother dabs her lips with a napkin. Darling, she says to Roxanne, when were you planning to tell us about this, engagement? When I was ready. And you're ready now. I am. Her mother's smile sharpens. How unexpected. The pianist starts playing again, something soft, something that doesn't match the tension vibrating through the table. Darnell cuts his steak. The knife feels wrong in his hand, too heavy, too sharp, like everything else here. Harold watches him, not blinking. Then he leans in. Close, so close Darnell can smell the bourbon on his breath. And Harold Hale whispers something. 4 words. Quiet enough that Roxanne can't hear, loud enough that Darnell will never forget. How much do you want? What would you do if someone asked you to play a role you never auditioned for, and the script was already written without you? The apartment door doesn't close right. It never has. Darnell has to lift it slightly, push hard, then twist the knob just so, or it swings back open. He's reported it 6 times. The landlord keeps saying he'll send someone. That was 8 months ago. Tonight, Darnell doesn't care if it closes at all. He stands in the dark, jacket still on, keys still in his hand, heart still racing from a dinner that ended 2 hours ago but won't leave his chest. How much do you want? Those 4 words loop in his head like a song he can't turn off. The kitchen light flickers on, Zaire stands in the doorway wearing her purple nightgown, the one with the unicorn that's mostly faded from too many washes. Her braids are messy. She's holding her stuffed elephant, the one missing an eye. "Daddy?" Her voice is small, sleepy. "You okay?" Darnell blinks, forces his face into something that might look like a smile. "Yeah, baby, I'm good. Why you up?" "You're breathing loud." He is. He didn't notice. Zaire walks over. Wraps her arms around his waist. Her head barely reaches his ribs. She smells like the lavender lotion he bought at the dollar store because the fancy kind costs too much. "Bad day at work?" she asks. "Something like that." She pulls back, studies his face with those eyes, too smart for 8 years old, too aware. "You didn't eat," she says, pointing at the table. "I saved you a plate." There's a paper plate covered in foil, mac and cheese from a box, hot dogs cut into little pieces the way she likes them. His throat tightens. "Thank you, baby." "Ms. Tanya said you had a date." Zaire's voice lifts with curiosity. "Was she pretty?" Darnell sets his keys down, pulls out a chair, sits heavy. "Go back to bed, Zaire." "But now." She flinches, just a little, but enough that he sees it. He closes his eyes, breathes. "I'm sorry," he says quietly. "I'm just tired. We'll talk in the morning, okay?" Zaire nods, walks back toward her room, stops at the doorway. "Daddy?" "Yeah? You're a good person." She says it like she's reminding him, like she knows he forgot. Then she's gone. Darnell sits alone in the dark, the plate of cold food in front of him, the sound of the refrigerator humming too loud because it's old and he can't afford to replace it. He thinks about the restaurant, the white tablecloths, the way Harold Hale looked at him like he was a problem with a price tag. "How much do you want?" Like Darnell was for sale, like Dignity had a discount rate. He stands, walks to the window, looks out at the parking lot where his car sits with the passenger door that doesn't lock and the check engine light that's been on for 3 months. This isn't the life he imagined, but it's the one he's fighting for. 3 years ago, Darnell had a different apartment, a better job, a woman who said she loved him. Her name was Keisha. She had a laugh that could fill a room, could cook better than anyone he knew, could make Zaire giggle until she couldn't breathe. Then, one morning, she was gone. No fight, no warning, just a note on the counter next to Zaire's breakfast. "I can't do this anymore." 6 words. That's all she left. Darnell found out later she'd been planning it for weeks, packed her things in pieces, took money from their joint account in small amounts so he wouldn't notice. She didn't take Zaire, didn't even ask. The first week, Zaire kept asking when Mommy was coming home. Darnell didn't know what to say. He told her Mommy went on a trip, that she'd be back soon. By the second week, Zaire stopped asking. She never cried, never threw a tantrum. She just got quieter. And Darnell learned how to braid hair from YouTube videos at 2 in the morning, learned how to pack lunches that didn't embarrass her at school, learned how to be both parents with half the energy and none of the answers. He couldn't afford the apartment anymore. Moved to a cheaper place, then an even cheaper one. The job he had, assistant manager at a warehouse, let him go 6 months later. Budget cuts, they said. But he knew. He'd missed too many days. Too many times Zaire got sick and the school called and he had to leave early. Single fathers don't get the same grace single mothers do. He took the facilities job because it paid weekly, because it had night shifts that meant he could be home when Zaire got off the bus, because he didn't have the luxury of being picky. Every day is a tightrope, one missed check, one broken down car, one unexpected bill. That's all it takes. Darnell learned to stretch groceries, learned which bills could be paid late, learned how to smile at Zaire and pretend everything was fine while his stomach twisted with panic. He learned how to be invisible. At work, he keeps his head down, does his job, doesn't complain, doesn't ask for raises, doesn't make waves, because men who look like him don't get second chances. They get examples made. The building where he works is all glass and steel, the kind of place where people wear badges that beep when they swipe through doors, where the break room has fancy coffee machines and fruit that's always fresh. Darnell's seen the people who work there, young, white, confident in ways he'll never understand. They don't see him. He's part of the furniture, part of the walls, part of the system that keeps their world clean and running while they collect paychecks that could cover his rent for a year. He's buffed their floors, emptied their trash, fixed their leaking faucets, and not one of them knows his name, except Roxanne. 2 weeks ago, she got on the elevator with him, late, after most people had gone home. She looked at him, really looked. "Long day?" she asked. He nodded. Didn't expect her to care. "I'm Roxanne Hale," she said, extended her hand. "I run this building." He almost didn't shake it, wasn't sure if it was a test, but he did, and her grip was firm, steady. "Darnell Brooks," he said. "Facilities." "I know." That surprised him. Over the next 2 weeks, she kept appearing. In the break room, by the loading dock, always casual, always asking questions. "What do you do here? How long have you worked here? Do you have family?" He told her about Zaire, told her about the juggling act, told her things he doesn't usually tell people because people don't usually ask. She listened, really listened, and then she asked him to dinner. "Just dinner," she said. "You work hard. You deserve a real meal." He should have said no. He knew better. But she said it in a way that felt safe, and he was tired of always saying no to things that might be good. So he said yes. Now he's standing in his dark apartment, staring at cold mac and cheese, wondering what he just walked into. His phone buzzes. A text. Unknown number. He opens it. "Tonight was necessary. I'll explain soon." Necessary. Like he was part of a plan he didn't agree to. He deletes the message, turns off his phone, sits back down at the table. The apartment is quiet except for the hum of the refrigerator and the distant sound of someone's TV through the thin walls. Darnell eats the cold mac and cheese, because wasting food is something he can't afford, and because tomorrow Zaire will ask if he ate it, and he won't lie to her, not about that. The next morning, his phone rings at 6:30. Darnell's in the kitchen. Zaire's still asleep. He's making oatmeal because it's cheap and filling, and she doesn't complain. He glances at the screen. Work. His stomach tightens. "Hello?" "Darnell, it's Martin." His supervisor, voice clipped, professional. "Need you to come in early today. We have a situation." "What kind of situation?" "Just come in." "Soon as you can." The line goes dead. Darnell stares at the phone. Situation is never good. He wakes Zaire, gets her dressed, drops her at Ms. Tanya's place 2 doors down, the neighbor who watches her before school for $20 a week. Darnell can barely afford but has to pay anyway. Then he drives to work. The parking lot is emptier than usual. The building feels different. He can't explain why. He swipes his badge, heads to the basement where the facilities office is. Martin's waiting, arms crossed, face unreadable. "Close the door, Ben," Martin says. Darnell does. "Listen," Martin starts. "This isn't personal." And Darnell knows. Right then, before another word is said, he knows. "We're restructuring," Martin continues. "Corporate's making cuts. Your position's been eliminated." The words land like punches. Eliminated. Effective immediately. You'll get 2 weeks severance. HR will process your final check by Friday. Darnell's hands curl into fists. "I've been here 3 years. No write-ups, no complaints. It's not about performance. It's budget." Budget. Martin won't look him in the eye. "I'm sorry, man, really." But he's not. He's just doing his job. Darnell's badge stops working at the door on his way out. He stands there, swiping it again and again, the red light blinking, the beep that says, "Denied." A security guard walks over, young, uncomfortable. "Sir, I'm going to need you to leave the premises." Darnell turns, looks at the building, the glass, the steel, the floors he's cleaned, the systems he's fixed, and he walks away. Outside, the sun is too bright. His phone buzzes. Another text, same unknown number. "I'm sorry. I didn't think they'd move this fast." Darnell stares at the message. Then he sees something else. A car parked across the street, black, expensive, windows tinted, and in the driver's seat, a woman with her hair pulled back, watching. The car door opens before Darnell can walk away. Roxanne steps out. No heels this time, flats, jeans, a sweater that probably costs more than his severance check. Her hair's down. She looks smaller without the armor. "Darnell, wait! Don't!" He keeps walking, toward his car, toward anything that isn't her. She follows, her footsteps quick behind him. "Please, just let me explain." He spins around. "Explain what? How you got me fired? How you used me like a prop at dinner and then made sure I'd pay for it? I didn't know they'd do this." "You knew something. His voice cracks, not from weakness. From rage he's keeping leashed. You texted me. I didn't think they'd move this fast. That means you knew they'd move. She stops. 3 feet away. Her face is calm, too calm. Get in the car, she says. 5 minutes, that's all I'm asking. I don't owe you 5 seconds. You're right, you don't, she pauses. But you're about to get evicted, aren't you? The air leaves his lungs. I saw the notice, she continues quietly. Last week, when I came by your building, it was sticking out of your mailbox. Darnell's jaw tightens. You came by my building? I needed to understand who you were. Who I was? He laughs, bitter. Or what I was worth? She doesn't answer. And that's answer enough. He should leave, should get in his car, should drive to Ms. Tanya's and hold Zaire and figure out how to survive the next 30 days. But something in Roxanne's face stops him. Not guilt, fear. 5 minutes, he says. They sit in her car, leather seats, that new car smell that feels like mockery. The engine's not even on, but the air conditioning works. Everything in her world works. Roxanne doesn't look at him. She stares straight ahead through the windshield. My father controls everything, she says. My job, my money, my life. I'm 34 years old and I still need his approval to make decisions in my own company. So you used me to what? Rebel? To survive. The word lands heavy. She turns to him. 3 months ago, I tried to make changes. Real changes. In how we hire, how we pay contractors, how we treat people like you. Her voice drops. My father threatened to remove me, said I was too emotional, too progressive. Darnell stares at her. And I was your proof you weren't. You were my leverage. She doesn't flinch saying it. If I showed up with someone they'd never approve of, someone who'd challenge everything they believe, they'd have to take me seriously. They'd have to see I don't need their approval. I have a daughter. I know. I have 30 days before I'm on the street. I know. And you still did this. Roxanne's hands tighten on the steering wheel. I thought I could control it. I thought... She stops. Breathes. I thought I was smarter than them. You're not smart. You're rich. There's a difference. She flinches. Finally. What do you want me to say? Her voice cracks. That I'm sorry? I am. That I didn't think about the consequences? I didn't. I saw an opportunity and I took it because that's what I've been taught to do my entire life. Opportunity. Darnell shakes his head. I'm not an opportunity. I'm a person. I know that now. Now. After I've already lost everything. Silence fills the car. Heavy. Suffocating. Roxanne reaches into the back seat, pulls out an envelope, sets it on the console between them. What's that? Darnell asks. $20,000. His heart stops. It's what my father offered you last night, after you left. She pushes the envelope toward him. He asked me how much it would take to make you disappear. I told him I'd handle it. Darnell stares at the envelope. $20,000. That's rent for a year. That's Zaire's school supplies. That's breathing room he hasn't had since Keisha left. That's a price tag on his dignity. I don't want his money, Darnell says. It's not his, it's mine. Same thing. It's not. Her voice hardens. Take it. Use it. Hate me if you want, but don't let your daughter suffer because you're too proud. The mention of Zaire hits like a fist. Darnell picks up the envelope, feels the weight of it, the thickness. Then he drops it in her lap. I'm not for sale, he says. Not to your father, not to you. He opens the car door. Darnell, stay away from me. Stay away from my daughter. Whatever game you're playing, I'm done being a piece on your board. He gets out, slams the door, walks to his car without looking back, but he feels her watching, feels the weight of that envelope, feels the number in his bank account that's already in the red, and he drives away. Zaire is eating cereal when he gets home. Ms. Tanya's at the table with her, flipping through a magazine. You're back early, Ms. Tanya says. Then she sees his face. Oh no, what happened? Work let me go. Ms. Tanya's expression shifts, sympathy mixed with worry. She's a single mother too. She knows what this means. I'm sorry, baby. She stands, squeezes his shoulder. You need me to keep Zaire today? No charge. I can't ask you to. You're not asking. I'm offering. She grabs her purse. You take care of what you need to take care of. We'll be fine. She leaves before he can argue. Zaire looks up from her cereal, milk dripping from her spoon. Daddy, are we in trouble? Darnell sits down, pulls her into his lap. She's getting too big for this, but she doesn't complain. We're okay, he says. You lost your job. I'll find another one. Before we have to move? His chest tightens. She's 8. She shouldn't have to think about evictions. Yes, he lies, before we have to move. She nods, leans her head against his chest. I can help. I have $7 in my piggy bank. That's when he breaks. Not loud, not dramatic, just a few tears that slip out before he can stop them. Zaire looks up, wipes his face with her small hands. It's okay, Daddy. We're a team. He holds her tighter, because she's right. They are a team, and he'll be damned if he lets anyone break them. That afternoon, Darnell's phone rings. Unknown number. He almost doesn't answer. Hello? Mr. Brooks? A woman's voice. Professional. Clipped. This is Jennifer Park. I'm calling from Hale Enterprises legal department. His stomach drops. Legal? Yes. We need to schedule a meeting regarding your recent termination. There are some documents that require your signature. What kind of documents? Non-disclosure agreements, severance terms, standard procedure. Nothing about this feels standard. When? He asks. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Our office is downtown. And if I don't come? A pause. Then we'll be forced to pursue alternative measures to protect company interests. The threat is clear even if the words aren't. I'll be there, Darnell says. The line goes dead. He sits on the couch, stares at the ceiling, the water stain in the corner that's been growing for months, the crack in the plaster he keeps meaning to fix. His phone buzzes. A text, unknown number, but he knows who it is. Don't sign anything tomorrow without reading it carefully. They're going to try to silence you. R. He types back fast. Why do you care? 3 dots appear, disappear, appear again. Because I'm the one who gave them your name. Darnell stares at the message. Then another text comes through. And because there's something about that building you need to know, something I should have told you before. His fingers hover over the keyboard. What? The 3 dots pulse. Once, twice, then nothing. The dots disappear. No response. Darnell calls the number, goes straight to voicemail. He calls again. Same thing. He's about to throw his phone when it buzzes one more time. Not a text. An email, from an address he doesn't recognize. The subject line is blank, but there's an attachment. A PDF labeled Building Safety Violations, 2023-2025, PDF. Darnell opens it, and his blood runs cold. Pages and pages of reports, OSHA violations. Ignored maintenance requests, safety hazards logged and dismissed, incident reports that were never filed. His reports. The ones he submitted every month for 3 years. The ones he was told were being handled. They weren't. They were buried. And at the bottom of every page, the same signature. Harold Hale, approving the cover-ups, authorizing the silence. Darnell's hands shake. He thinks about the elevator that keeps breaking, the gas leak in the parking garage that took 6 months to fix, the electrical fire last year that was ruled accidental. He reported all of it, and they ignored all of it, because fixing problems costs money, and silencing the people who report them is cheaper. His phone rings again. Roxanne. He answers. Did you open it? She asks. No greeting, just urgency. What is this? Proof that my father's been covering up safety violations for years, that people have been hurt, that lawsuits have been paid off quietly. Why are you giving this to me? Because tomorrow they're going to make you sign an NDA that buries everything you've ever seen, and if you don't sign it, they'll destroy you. Darnell's jaw tightens. They already destroyed me. Not yet they haven't, her voice drops. But they will, unless you fight back. With what? I don't have lawyers. I don't have money. You have truth. She cuts him off. And that's the one thing they can't buy. He wants to hang up. Wants to delete the email. Wants to pretend he never met her. But he can't. Because she's right. What do you want from me? He asks quietly. I want you to come to that meeting tomorrow, Roxanne says. And I want you to record every word they say. Silence. That's illegal, Darnell says. So is covering up safety violations that put people's lives at risk. He closes his eyes. If I do this, if you do this, she interrupts, you'll have leverage, real leverage, the kind that can't be bought or silenced. And what do you get out of it? A pause. Proof that I'm not my father. The line goes quiet, just their breathing. Two people on opposite sides of a line they never chose to draw. I'll think about it, Darnell finally says. Don't think too long. Tomorrow's coming whether you're ready or not. She hangs up. Darnell sits in the dark, the PDF still open on his phone, pages and pages of evidence, of negligence, of greed, of people like him being treated as expendable. He thinks about Zaire, about the $7 in her piggy bank, about the way she said, we're a team. He thinks about the envelope full of money he refused, and he thinks about the meeting tomorrow, where he'll walk into a room full of people who've already decided he doesn't matter, unless he proves them wrong. His phone lights up one last time, a text, Roxanne again. Whatever you decide, thank you for not taking the money. Most people would have. Darnell doesn't respond. He just sits there, holding the phone, holding the truth, and wondering if truth is enough to protect the people who dare to speak it. Outside, a car pulls up. Black. Expensive. Tinted windows. It idles across the street, watching. Darnell stands, walks to the window, looks down. The car doesn't move. Just sits there, waiting. The law offices of Hale Enterprises aren't in the building where Darnell used to work. They're 20 floors above it, literally. Same address, different world. The kind of world that requires a special elevator key just to reach it. The kind where the carpet is so thick it swallows sound. Where everything smells like leather and old money and decisions made behind closed doors. Darnell stands in the lobby at 9:55, early, on purpose. His phone is in his jacket pocket, recording app already running. His hand keeps drifting to it, making sure it's still there, making sure it's still on. Mr. Brooks? A woman approaches. Asian, early 30s, fitted black suit, hair pulled back so tight it looks like it hurts. Her smile is professional, empty. I'm Jennifer Park. We spoke on the phone. She doesn't offer her hand. Follow me, please. They walk down a hallway lined with photos, black and white. Old men in suits shaking hands with other old men in suits, buildings being constructed, groundbreaking ceremonies, the visual history of wealth building itself. Jennifer opens a door. They're waiting for you. They. Darnell's stomach tightens. The conference room is all windows, floor-to-ceiling glass overlooking the city. The view probably costs more than most people's mortgage. 3 people sit at a table built for 12. Harold Hale, same suit as the restaurant, same expression that says he's already bored. A man Darnell doesn't recognize. Older, white, glasses, lawyer written all over him, and Roxanne. She sits at the far end, doesn't look at Darnell when he enters, just stares at a folder in front of her like it contains secrets she's afraid to read. Mr. Brooks. Harold gestures to a chair. Please, sit. Darnell sits. The chair is expensive, comfortable, wrong. The lawyer slides a stack of papers across the table. I'm Robert Finch, Senior Counsel for Hale Enterprises. We've prepared your severance package. 2 weeks' pay. Standard terms. Standard, Darnell repeats. Yes, contingent upon your signature on the attached non-disclosure agreement. Darnell picks up the papers, flips through them. The words blur together, legal language designed to confuse, to intimidate. What exactly am I not allowed to disclose? He asks. Robert adjusts his glasses. Any information regarding company operations, personnel decisions, or proprietary processes you may have been exposed to during your employment. I mopped floors. You also had access to secure areas, maintenance logs, safety reports. Robert's voice stays level, calm, like he's reading a grocery list. We simply need assurance that confidential information remains confidential. Darnell sets the papers down. And if I don't sign? Silence. Harold leans back, folds his hands. Then we'll be forced to pursue legal action for breach of contract. Your employment agreement included a confidentiality clause. Refusing to sign this document constitutes a violation. A violation of what? I haven't told anyone anything. Yet, Harold's eyes narrow. But given recent complications, we need to ensure future silence. Complications. Darnell looks at Roxanne. She still won't meet his eyes. You mean your daughter lying to you about being engaged to the help? Harold's jaw tightens. My daughter's personal choices are irrelevant to this discussion. Are they? Darnell leans forward. Because it seems like I lost my job the day after you found out about those choices. Your termination was due to budget restructuring, Robert cuts in smoothly, completely unrelated to any personal matters. Right, budget restructuring. Darnell picks up his phone, sets it on the table. Then you won't mind if I record the rest of this conversation. For my own records? The room temperature drops. Robert's hand moves toward the phone, stops. Recording without consent is illegal in this state. So is retaliatory termination. Darnell doesn't touch the phone, just leaves it there. So is covering up safety violations that put people at risk. Harold's expression doesn't change, but something flickers behind his eyes. I don't know what you're implying. I'm not implying anything. Darnell pulls out his own phone, opens the PDF, slides it across the table. I'm stating facts. Robert picks up the phone, scrolls. His face stays blank, but his fingers move faster. Harold doesn't look. Where did you get this? Does it matter? Everything in that document is privileged company information. Possessing it is theft. Funny. Darnell's voice stays steady. I thought reporting safety hazards was part of my job. I thought keeping people safe mattered more than keeping secrets. Roxanne finally looks up. Her face is pale. Dad, be quiet. Harold doesn't look at her. His eyes stay locked on Darnell. You have no idea what you're doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. Darnell stands. I'm walking out of here without signing anything. And if anything happens to me or my daughter, those documents go to every news station, every regulatory agency, and every lawyer who'll listen. Robert stands too. That's blackmail. No, that's survival. Darnell picks up his phone. You people throw around words like budget cuts and restructuring like they're just business, like they don't destroy lives, like I'm supposed to smile and disappear because you decided I'm inconvenient. You were always inconvenient, Harold says quietly. From the moment my daughter brought you to that dinner. Do you think I didn't know what she was doing, using you to prove a point, to embarrass me? Darnell's hands curl into fists. So you punished me for it. I protected my family's interests. By destroying mine. Harold stands, slowly. He's shorter than Darnell expected. Smaller, but power doesn't need height. You want to fight me? Harold's voice is soft, dangerous. You want to expose those documents? Go ahead. But understand something. I have lawyers. I have resources. I have connections that span decades. He steps closer. You have a daughter to feed, and 30 days before you're homeless. So ask yourself, is being right worth being ruined? The threat hangs in the air like smoke. Darnell's heart pounds. His mouth is dry. Every instinct screams to back down, to sign the papers, to take whatever scraps they're offering and disappear. But then he thinks about Zaire, about the $7 in her piggy bank, about the way she said we're a team. Yes, Darnell says. It is. He walks to the door. Mr. Brooks. Robert's voice stops him. If you leave without signing, we will pursue every legal option available. Then I'll see you in court. Darnell opens the door. Wait, Roxanne's voice. Quiet, strained. Everyone turns. She stands. Her hands are shaking. She presses them flat against the table. Dad, she says, stop. Harold's expression hardens. Roxanne, I gave him those documents. Silence explodes through the room. Robert's face goes white. Harold's jaw clenches so hard a muscle jumps. Excuse me? Harold's voice is ice. Roxanne doesn't look away. I gave him the safety reports, the violation logs, all of it. Why would you? Harold stops. Realization dawns. You leaked confidential company information to a terminated employee? I leaked evidence of criminal negligence. Her voice strengthens. Evidence you've been burying for years. That's enough. It's not. Roxanne's hands leave the table. She stands straighter. You want to sue him? Fine. Sue me too. Disown me. Fire me. Do whatever you want. But those documents are going public either way. Harold stares at his daughter like he's never seen her before. You have no idea what you've done. I know exactly what I've done. Roxanne looks at Darnell. I've stopped being complicit. For the first time since he met her, Darnell sees something real in her face. Not strategy, not calculation, conviction. Harold's voice drops to a whisper. Get out! Roxanne doesn't move. Dad, I said get out, both of you, now. Robert steps forward. Mr. Hale, perhaps we should— Now! The word echoes. Darnell opens the door. Roxanne walks past him. They leave together. The door closes behind them with a sound like a vault ceiling. They stand in the hallway, the photos of old men staring down at them, judging. Why did you do that? Darnell asks. Roxanne's hands are still shaking. Because you were right. About all of it. You just torched your entire life. No, I just stopped living his. She looks at him. I'm sorry. For the dinner, for the job, for all of it. I used you and I can't take that back, but I can make sure it wasn't for nothing. Darnell studies her face, looking for the lie, the angle, the next move. He doesn't find one. What happens now? He asks. Now? Roxanne laughs, empty, bitter. Now we both figure out what fighting back actually costs. The elevator dings. The doors open. 2 security guards step out. Ms. Hale, one of them says, your father's requested you surrender your company badge and building access. Roxanne reaches into her purse, pulls out a slim card, hands it over. Just like that. Years of work gone. Mr. Brooks, the second guard says, we need to escort you from the premises. I'm already leaving. We need to make sure. They ride down in silence. The guards stand between them. Professional, firm, following orders. At the ground floor, the guards walk them to the exit, wait until they're on the sidewalk, then disappear back inside. Darnell and Roxanne stand in the afternoon sun, traffic rushing past, people walking by without looking, the world continuing like nothing just happened. I don't have a car, Roxanne says quietly. My driver was company provided. Darnell almost laughs. Welcome to my world. She looks at him. Can I buy you coffee? You just lost your job. You can't afford me. I have a trust fund I've never touched. Turns out I can afford a lot. She pauses. Please, just coffee. I owe you a real explanation. Darnell should say no, should walk away, should never see her again. But he doesn't. 1 coffee, he says. Then we're done. They find a diner 2 blocks away. Old, worn, the kind of place where coffee costs $2 and comes in ceramic mugs with chips in the rim. They sit in a booth by the window. Order, don't speak until the waitress leaves. My father built everything from nothing, Roxanne starts. Grew up poor, fought for every dollar, every deal, every building with his name on it. She stirs her coffee. He taught me that weakness is the only sin that matters, that mercy is just weakness in disguise. Sounds lonely. It is. She meets his eyes. I convinced myself I was different, that I could change things from the inside, that I could use his power for good. She laughs. I was naive. What changed? You did. She sets down her spoon. The way you looked at him when he asked how much you wanted, the way you walked out of that car when I offered you money. You didn't just reject it, you rejected everything it represented. I rejected being bought. Most people don't. Her voice is quiet. Most people take the money and disappear. My father's paid off hundreds of people over the years. Employees, contractors, anyone who saw too much. It always worked. She pauses. Until you. Darnell sips his coffee. It's bitter, burnt, perfect. So what now? He asks. You gave up everything to prove a point. Was it worth it? Roxanne's jaw tightens. Ask me in a month. I might not be around in a month. Eviction, remember? About that. She pulls out her phone, opens an app, shows him the screen. I transferred $50,000 to an account in your name this morning. Darnell's stomach drops. You what? Before they froze my accounts, before they locked me out. She pushes the phone toward him. It's yours. No strings, no conditions. Just take it. I already told you so. This isn't payment. It's restitution. Her voice hardens. I destroyed your life to prove a point to my father. The least I can do is make sure you survive the fallout. Darnell stares at the screen. $50,000. More money than he's ever seen. More than enough to start over. More than enough to walk away. I can't take this, he says. Why not? Because it makes what you did okay, and it's not okay. Roxanne's eyes water, just a little. I know it's not okay. I know I can't fix it. But I can't let you lose everything because I was selfish. Darnell pushes the phone back. Keep your money. If you really want to help me fight them. Help me make sure those safety reports get to the right people. Help me make sure what they did actually cost them something. Roxanne wipes her eyes, nods. Okay. She stands. I know someone, a lawyer. She specializes in corporate whistleblower cases. If anyone can make this hurt, it's her. Darnell stands too. When? Now, if you're free. He thinks about Zaire, about Ms. Tanya watching her, about the clock ticking on his eviction notice. I'm free, he says. They leave the diner, walk toward the parking garage where Darnell's car sits with the check engine light and the broken door lock. Behind them, across the street, a black car with tinted windows pulls away from the curb, follows. Darnell sees it in a storefront window reflection. We're being followed, he says quietly. Roxanne glances back. Her face goes pale. Company security. My father's making sure we don't go anywhere he doesn't want us to. Can he do that? He can do whatever he wants. She pulls out her phone. Until he can't. She makes a call. Puts it on speaker. 3 rings. Then a voice. Female. Sharp. Roxanne Hale. I heard you just committed career suicide. Career suicide implies I had a choice, Diana. Roxanne's voice is steady. I need your help. I'm listening. Whistleblower case, safety violations, corporate cover-up, and the company's already retaliating. A pause. Then a low whistle. Who's the whistleblower? Roxanne looks at Darnell. His name is Darnell Brooks. Is he with you now? Yes? Good, bring him to my office. And Roxanne? Yeah? Whatever you're about to do, make sure you're ready to burn every bridge you've ever built, because your father won't stop until you're both buried. The line goes dead. Roxanne lowers the phone, looks at Darnell. Last chance to walk away, she says. Darnell looks at the black car, still following, still watching. He thinks about Harold Hale's face, the way he said you were always inconvenient. He thinks about Zaire asking if they were in trouble. He thinks about every floor he mopped, every report he filed, every time he was invisible. I am done walking away, Darnell says. They get in his car. The engine coughs twice before starting. The check engine light glows like a warning. The black car follows them for 6 blocks. Then it turns off. But Darnell knows they're still watching. They always are. When the powerful decide you're a problem, how far are you willing to go to prove them wrong? Comment below. Your story could inspire someone fighting their own battle. Don't leave without subscribing. Hit that notification bell. This fight is just beginning, and you're going to want to see how it ends. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Let's build something bigger than fear. Diana Mercer's office doesn't look like a lawyer's office. No mahogany desk, no walls full of degrees, no leather chairs that cost more than a car payment. It's a converted warehouse in a neighborhood Darnell recognizes, the kind where rent is cheap because gentrification hasn't finished erasing the people who've always lived there. The kind where corner stores still cash checks and know your name. The space is open. Exposed brick, concrete floors, desks scattered like puzzle pieces, young people, mostly black and brown, typing fast, talking faster, moving with the kind of energy that comes from believing the work matters. A woman stands by the window, tall, dark skin, locks pulled back in a wrap. She's wearing jeans and a Howard University sweatshirt. No suit, no performance. She turns when they enter. Roxanne? Her voice is warm, but her eyes are sharp, assessing. You look different without the armor. I feel different without it. Roxanne's voice is small. Diana's gaze shifts to Darnell. You must be Mr. Brooks. Darnell? She nods. Diana Mercer, Workers' Rights Collective. We sue companies that think people are disposable. She gestures to a table covered in files and laptops. Sit. Tell me everything. They sit. Darnell watches Diana's face as he talks. She doesn't interrupt, doesn't take notes, just listens with the kind of focus that makes him feel like his words actually carry weight. He tells her about the job, the reports, the violations, the dinner, the meeting this morning, all of it. When he finishes, Diana leans back. They fired you the day after you appeared at dinner with Roxanne. Yes. And they tried to force you to sign an NDA this morning. Yes. And when you refused, they threatened legal action. Yes, Diana looks at Roxanne. And you leaked confidential company documents to support his claims. Roxanne's voice is steady. Yes. Diana's mouth curves, not quite a smile. Something sharper. Good. Then we have standing. Standing for what? Darnell asks. A lawsuit, wrongful termination, retaliation, corporate negligence, maybe even criminal charges if the safety violations are severe enough. Diana pulls a laptop closer, opens it. But first, I need to see everything. Every report, every email, every text, every piece of evidence that proves they knew about the violations and chose to ignore them. Darnell pulls out his phone, forwards the PDF. This is what Roxanne sent me, but I have more. Years of maintenance logs, incident reports, photos. Where? My personal email. I always copied myself, just in case. Diana's expression shifts. Respect. Smart man. Cautious man, Darnell corrects. I've seen too many people get erased. Not this time. Diana starts typing. Fast. Roxanne Borowitsa. I need access to internal communications, emails between your father and senior management, anything that shows they discussed these violations. I don't have access anymore. They froze my accounts. But you have passwords. Roxanne hesitates. Using them now would be illegal. So is retaliatory termination. Diana doesn't look up. So is covering up safety hazards that could kill people. We're past legal gray areas. We're in survival territory. Roxanne pulls out her phone, opens a notes app, starts typing. I have a back door, something I set up years ago in case I ever needed leverage against him. She pauses. I never thought I'd actually use it. Use it now. Roxanne's fingers move across the screen. Minutes pass. Then her face goes pale. What? Diana asks. They're planning something. Roxanne turns the phone so they can see. Email thread from this morning. My father, Robert Finch, head of security. Darnell leans closer, reads. Subject, Brooks situation. Harold, the problem needs to disappear, quietly. Robert, we can pursue legal channels, but it will take time. Harold, I don't have time. He has evidence that could trigger federal investigation. Handle it. Security chief, define handle it, Harold. Use your imagination. The words sit there, cold, clear. That's a threat. Darnell's voice is hollow. That's evidence. Diana screenshots the email, sends it to herself. They just handed us conspiracy on a silver platter. They're going to come after me, Darnell stands. I need to get Zaire. I need to breathe. Diana's voice cuts through the panic. They're not going to do anything immediately. Too obvious, too risky. But we need to move fast. How fast? Today. Now. Diana grabs her jacket. We're filing an emergency protective order. Then we're contacting OSHA, the State Labor Board, and every regulatory agency with jurisdiction. We're going to bury them in so much scrutiny they won't have time to bury you. Roxanne stands too. What do you need from me? Everything you just gave us, plus testimony. You're a named executive. Your word carries weight. Diana pauses. But understand, once we file, there's no going back. Your father will come after you too. Let him. Roxanne's jaw sets. I'm done being afraid of him. Diana nods, looks at Darnell. You sure about this? Once we start, your life becomes public. Every mistake, every struggle, they'll dig up everything to discredit you. Darnell thinks about Zaire, about the eviction notice, about every floor he's mopped while invisible. I've already been discredited my whole life, he says. At least now people will know why. Diana's expression softens. Just for a second. Then let's go to war. The next 3 hours blur, phones ringing, printers running, people moving with purpose. Diana's team mobilizes like soldiers who've trained for this exact battle. Darnell sits at a desk, answers questions, signs forms, provides documentation. A young woman, can't be more than 25, sits across from him. I'm going to ask you some hard questions about your past, your finances, your daughter's mother, everything they might use against you. Why? Because they will, and we need to be ready with answers. She opens a laptop. Have you ever been arrested? Traffic tickets. Nothing else. Debts? Medical bills from when Zaire had pneumonia 2 years ago, about $8,000. Child support? I'm the custodial parent. Her mother disappeared. Did you file for abandonment? Darnell's jaw tightens. No, I was too busy keeping us alive. The woman types, doesn't judge, just documents. They'll use that. Say you have poor judgment. Ask why you didn't pursue legal channels. Because legal channels cost money I didn't have. Good. Remember that. Keep your answers simple. Direct. Don't get emotional. But how can he not get emotional? This is his life, his daughter, his dignity being picked apart like evidence at a crime scene. Across the room, Roxanne talks to Diana. Their voices are low but urgent. They'll freeze my trust fund, Roxanne says. My father controls the board. He'll claim incompetence. Mental instability. Let him. Diana's voice is steel. We'll argue coercion, decades of psychological abuse. You're not the first child of a corporate tyrant I've represented. But I am the first one who helped him destroy someone else first. Diana stops typing, looks at Roxanne. You trying to punish yourself or help Darnell? Both. Then save the guilt for therapy. Right now, I need you focused. Diana pulls up a document. I'm filing a motion for emergency relief, restraining order against your father and Hale Enterprises. It'll prevent them from contacting Darnell or taking any action against him pending investigation. Will it work? Depends on the judge, but it buys us time. Diana hits send. And time is all we need to make this loud enough that they can't silence it. Darnell's phone buzzes. Ms. Tanya. Baby, someone came by asking about you. White man, suit, said he was from your old job. I didn't tell him nothing but thought you should know. Darnell's blood goes cold. He shows Diana the text. Her expression hardens. They're moving faster than I thought. What do I do? Get your daughter. Bring her here. We have security. Diana looks at her team. Marcus, I need you to drive Mr. Brooks. Now. A man stands, built like he used to play football. Where are we going? To get his daughter and make sure no one follows. Marcus grabs keys, nods at Darnell. Let's move. They take Marcus's car, a Honda that's seen better years but runs quiet. Marcus drives like someone who knows how to spot a tail. You former military? Darnell asks. Former everything. Marcus keeps his eyes on the mirrors. Iraq, police force. Now I protect people who actually need it. Diana hire a lot of people like you? She hires people who remember what it's like to be powerless. Marcus turns down Darnell's street. That's why we don't lose. They pull up to Ms. Tanya's building. Darnell jumps out, takes the stairs 2 at a time. Ms. Tanya opens the door before he knocks. Baby, what's going on? Her face is tight with worry. I need to take Zaire. Is she okay? She's fine, watching cartoons. But Darnell, that man who came by, he wasn't from your job. How do you know? Because he asked about your daughter, by name. Ms. Tanya's voice drops. What kind of employer asks about a man's child? Darnell's hands curl into fists. Zaire appears in the doorway, still in her school clothes, backpack on. Daddy, why are you here? He forces his face to soften. We're going on an adventure. What kind of adventure? The kind where we stay together. He holds out his hand. Come on, baby. Zaire takes it, looks back at Ms. Tanya. Bye, Ms. Tanya. Thank you for the snacks. Anytime, baby girl. Ms. Tanya hugs her, then looks at Darnell. You call me if you need anything. Anything. I will. They head back to the car. Marcus opens the back door, helps Zaire in, checks the street before getting in himself. We being followed? Darnell asks. Not yet, Marcus pulls out. But we will be. Zaire sits in the back seat, quiet, too quiet. Daddy, her voice is small. Are we in trouble? Darnell turns around, looks at his daughter, 8 years old and already learning that safety is temporary. No, baby. We're not in trouble. Then why did we have to leave? Because sometimes grown-ups make bad choices, and we have to be smart until they fix them. Did you make a bad choice? No, I made the right one, and that's why we have to be careful. Zaire nods, doesn't fully understand but trusts him anyway. That trust feels heavier than any evidence, any lawsuit, any fight. They make it back to Diana's office without incident. Marcus parks in a gated lot, walks them inside. Diana's waiting. She kneels down when she sees Zaire. Hi there, I'm Diana. You must be Zaire. Zaire nods, shy. I have a daughter about your age. She's upstairs watching movies. Want to join her? Zaire looks at Darnell. He nods. Go ahead, baby. I'll be right here. A young woman, one of Diana's team, takes Zaire's hand, leads her upstairs. Once she's gone, Diana's face shifts. All business. We have a problem, she says. Just one? Harold Hale filed a countersuit an hour ago. Defamation, theft of proprietary information, corporate espionage. Diana pulls up a document. He's asking for $10 million in damages. Darnell's legs go weak. $10 million? It's a scare tactic. He knows you can't pay it. The goal is to force you to back down. What if I can't fight it? Then you lose everything. Your reputation, any chance at future employment, possibly custody of your daughter if they claim financial instability. Diana's voice softens. But that's only if we let them win. How do we not let them win? We make this public, tonight, before they control the narrative. Diana pulls up a press release. I'm sending this to every major outlet, local, national, anyone who'll listen. By morning, Harold Hale will be defending himself, not attacking you. Roxanne steps forward. I'll do interviews, on camera. I'll say everything. They'll destroy you, Diana warns. They already did. Roxanne looks at Darnell. The difference is, this time I'm choosing it. Diana's phone rings. She answers, listens. Her expression darkens. When? She asks. Pause. Are you sure? Pause. Send me the footage. She hangs up, looks at Darnell. They just tried to break into your apartment. The room tilts. What? Building security caught someone on camera. White male, late 30s, attempted entry through your back window, fled when someone spotted him. Darnell can't breathe. Zaire's things, all our stuff, is just stuff. Diana's voice is firm. You and Zaire are safe. That's what matters. They're escalating, Roxanne says quietly. Faster than I thought. Diana nods. Which means we escalate too. Press release goes out in 20 minutes. I'm also contacting the FBI. Breaking and entering. Witness intimidation. This is federal now. The FBI? Darnell's voice is hollow. This is really happening. Yes, and you need to decide right now if you're ready for what comes next. Diana meets his eyes. Because once this goes public, there's no hiding, no going back to invisible. The whole world will see you, judge you, pick apart every piece of your life. She pauses. Is that worth it? Darnell thinks about the broken window, about someone trying to get into the space where Zaire sleeps, where she keeps her stuffed elephant and her $7. He thinks about Harold Hale's face, the way he said handle it. He thinks about every report he filed that was ignored, every floor he mopped while invisible, every time he was told his truth didn't matter. Yes, Darnell says. It's worth it. Diana smiles, sharp, dangerous. Then let's show them what happens when they underestimate the wrong person. She hits send. The press release goes out, and the world starts watching. Upstairs, Zaire laughs at something in the movie. The sound echoes down, pure, innocent, unaware that her father just declared war on people who've never lost before. Darnell's phone buzzes. Unknown number. He opens it. A photo of him and Zaire leaving Ms. Tanya's building, taken today, taken from across the street. No message, just the photo. A reminder that they're watching, that they're always watching. Darnell shows Diana. Her jaw sets. Send that to me, now. He does. Diana forwards it immediately. That's intimidation. That's evidence. That's another nail in their coffin. But Darnell barely hears her. Because all he can see is Zaire in that photo. His daughter. In the crosshairs of people who destroy anything inconvenient. And he wonders, for the first time since this started, If doing the right thing is the same as doing the safe thing. If fighting back means putting Zaire in danger. If being visible means becoming a target. Roxanne sees his face, sits beside him. I know what you're thinking, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I brought this into your life. You didn't bring it. Darnell's voice is quiet. It was always there. I was just pretending I could avoid it by staying small. You're not small. I've been small my whole life, small enough not to threaten anyone, small enough to survive. He looks at her. But that's not surviving. That's just existing. So what now? Darnell stands, walks to the window, looks out at the city, at the buildings with names like Hale on them, at the world that decided he didn't matter. Now, he says, we make them see me. Behind him, Diana types faster. The story spreads. And somewhere across the city, in an office with windows that overlook everything, Harold Hale reads the press release and realizes he's no longer fighting an invisible man. He's fighting a man who refuses to disappear. The news breaks at 6:37 p.m., not on some small blog or local station, national. 3 major outlets pick it up within minutes. By 7, it's trending. Black father fired after billionaire's daughter fakes engagement. Hale Enterprises accused of covering up safety violations. Whistleblower says corporate giant retaliated, then tried to silence him. Darnell watches it happen in real time. Sitting in Diana's office, phone in hand, screen refreshing every few seconds. His face, his actual face, next to headlines he never imagined seeing. Don't read the comments, Diana warns. He reads them anyway. Some good, some terrible, most just noise. Another broke dude trying to get paid. Why would a CEO's daughter date a janitor? LMAO. This man is brave for speaking up. Sounds like a setup to me. Hold them accountable. The words blur together. Darnell sets the phone down. His hands are shaking. This is too much, he says quietly. Diana doesn't sugarcoat it. It's going to get worse before it gets better. They'll come after your character, your past. They'll find everyone you've ever known and ask them questions designed to make you look bad. What about Zaire? We keep her out of it. No photos, no interviews. She's a minor, protected. Diana pauses. But they'll still try. Roxanne sits across from them. She hasn't said much since the story broke. Just stares at her phone, at messages flooding in from numbers she recognizes, people she thought were friends. She shows Darnell one. You destroyed your family for a maintenance worker? Are you insane? Another. Your father built everything you have. How dare you? Another. You're dead to us. Roxanne's face stays blank, but her hands shake when she puts the phone down. You okay? Darnell asks. No. Her voice cracks. But I will be. Diana stands. I'm ordering food, Chinese. You both need to eat. I'm not hungry, Darnell says. Eat anyway. You're going to need energy for what's coming. Diana's phone rings. She answers, listens. Her expression shifts. When? How many? Pause. Okay, keep them outside. I'm coming down. She hangs up, looks at Darnell. There are reporters downstairs, 7 of them, cameras. They want a statement. Darnell's stomach drops. I'm not ready. You don't have to be. I'll handle it. No. Roxanne stands. Let me. Diana shakes her head. You sure? Once you go on camera, there's no taking it back. I know. Roxanne straightens her sweater. That's why I need to do it. They go downstairs together, all 3 of them. Mark as follows. Security. The reporters swarm the moment the door opens. Microphones, cameras. Questions shouted over each other. Ms. Hale, is it true you leaked confidential documents? Mr. Brooks, did you know about the fake engagement? Was this a setup? Are you suing for wrongful termination? Diana steps forward, hands raised. One question at a time. Ms. Hale will make a statement, then we're done for tonight. The noise quiets. Cameras focus. Red lights blinking. Roxanne steps forward. No notes, no script, just her. My name is Roxanne Hale. I'm the former Chief Operating Officer of Hale Enterprises, and I'm here to tell you that my father, Harold Hale, has been covering up safety violations for years. Violations that put people's lives at risk. Her voice is steady, clear. I know this because I was complicit. I saw the reports. I ignored them. I prioritized profit over people. And when Darnell Brooks, a man who worked for our company, tried to do the right thing, my father had him fired. A reporter interrupts. Why did you bring him to dinner with your parents? Roxanne doesn't flinch. Because I was trying to manipulate my father. I used Darnell as leverage in a power struggle. It was cruel. It was selfish, and I'm ashamed. So this was fake? The engagement was fake, but the violations are real. The retaliation is real, and my father's attempts to silence Darnell are real. She looks directly at the camera. I'm here to say I won't be silent anymore, and neither will he. Another reporter. Mr. Brooks, do you have proof of these violations? Darnell steps forward. His throat is dry. His heart is pounding. Every instinct screams to run, but he doesn't. I have 3 years of maintenance reports, he says, voice shaking but clear. I documented every hazard, every ignored repair, every time I was told it wasn't a priority. He pauses. People could have died. Maybe people did die, and the company chose to hide it instead of fix it. Why are you coming forward now? Because they tried to make me disappear, and I'm tired of being invisible. The words land, cameras flash, reporters scribble, Diana steps in. That's all for tonight. Further questions can be directed to our office. They go back inside. The door closes. The noise fades. Darnell leans against the wall. His legs feel like water. You did good, Diana says. I feel like I'm going to throw up. That's normal. Roxanne sits on the stairs, puts her head in her hands. My phone won't stop buzzing. Turn it off, Diana advises. I can't. What if... Roxanne stops, looks up. What if my father does something? Like what? I don't know, but he doesn't lose, ever. And we just made him look weak on national news. Her voice drops. He won't let that stand. Diana's phone rings. She steps away, answers. Her face changes. Are you serious? Pause. When? Pause. Okay, thank you. She hangs up, turns to them. That was my contact at the FBI. They're opening an investigation, federal, into Hale Enterprises. Darnell's chest tightens. That's good, right? It's great. It means we have institutional support. It means this isn't just a civil case anymore. Diana sits down. But it also means Harold Hale is about to get very dangerous. Dangerous how? Desperate men with unlimited resources do desperate things. Diana looks at Darnell. You need to stay here tonight, both of you. We have secure rooms upstairs. It's not much, but it's safe. What about Zaire? She's already asleep upstairs. My daughter's with her. They're fine. Darnell wants to argue, wants to say he can handle himself, that he doesn't need protection. But the photo on his phone, the one of him and Zaire leaving Ms. Tanya's building, flashes in his mind. Okay, he says. We'll stay. They eat Chinese food at midnight, cold, straight from the containers. Nobody talks much. Roxanne picks at her lo mein. I keep thinking about all the times I walked past you in that building, all the times I saw you cleaning, fixing things, and I never once thought about you as a person. Most people don't, Darnell says. That's not an excuse. I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying it's how the world works. People like you don't see people like me. We're part of the background. Roxanne sets down her fork. I see you now. Only because I became useful. The words are sharp. True, Roxanne doesn't deny them. Diana's phone buzzes. She reads. Her jaw tightens. What? Darnell asks. Harold Hale just released a statement. She turns her laptop so they can see. Statement from Hale Enterprises. The recent allegations made against our company and CEO Harold Hale are categorically false and legally actionable. Mr. Darnell Brooks was terminated due to performance issues and budget constraints, not retaliation. Ms. Roxanne Hale is experiencing a mental health crisis, and her statements should be viewed through that lens. We are pursuing all legal remedies available, including criminal charges for theft of proprietary information. We will not be intimidated by baseless accusations designed to extort money from a successful American company. Darnell reads it twice. Mental health crisis? Classic move. Diana's voice is ice. Discredit her, make her sound unstable. It's harder to take a whistleblower seriously if you convince people they're crazy. Roxanne's face goes pale. He's doing exactly what he did to my mother. The room goes quiet. What happened to your mother? Darnell asks carefully. Roxanne's hands shake. She tried to leave him when I was 16, said she couldn't live with him anymore, that he was controlling, cruel. Her voice breaks. He had her committed, involuntary psychiatric hold, told everyone she was having a breakdown. By the time she got out, he'd drained her accounts, turned all their friends against her, and convinced me she was the problem. Where is she now? I don't know. She disappeared after the divorce. I tried to find her, but Roxanne wipes her eyes. He made sure I believed she abandoned me, that she was sick, that I couldn't trust her. And now he's doing the same thing to you. Roxanne nods. He'll have doctors, affidavits, people who'll say I've been unstable, that I need help. She looks at Diana. Can he have me committed? Not without cause, and not without a hearing. Diana's voice softens. But he can make your life hell trying. Darnell's phone rings. Unknown number. He almost doesn't answer, but something makes him. Hello? Breathing, heavy, deliberate, then a voice, deep, unfamiliar. You made a mistake. Darnell's blood goes cold. Who is this? You should have taken the money, should have signed the papers, should have stayed invisible. The voice is calm, mechanical. Now you're going to lose everything. Your job, your home, your daughter. Don't you dare. She's 8, right? Zaire, pretty name. Be a shame if something happened to her. The line goes dead. Darnell drops the phone. His hands are shaking. His vision blurs. Diana picks it up. What did they say? They threatened Zaire. His voice is hollow. They said her name. Diana's face hardens. She dials, fast. Marcus, get up here, now! She hangs up, looks at Darnell. We're calling the police, filing a report. That's a direct threat against a minor. The police won't do anything. They're probably on his payroll. Maybe, but it's documented, on record. Diana starts typing. I'm also contacting the FBI. This is witness intimidation, federal crime. Marcus appears. What's wrong? Anonymous threat against his daughter. Diana doesn't look up. I need you on that door. No one in or out without clearance. Marcus nods, disappears. Roxanne stands, paces. This is my fault. All of it. Stop. Darnell's voice is sharp. Your father made his choices. You made yours. I made mine. Everyone's responsible for their own actions. But Zaire is upstairs, safe, because we're here, because we're fighting back. Darnell stands, his legs steady now, his fear turning into something harder. They want me scared. They want me to run, to disappear. So what are you going to do? Darnell looks at Diana. What's the fastest way to make this hurt them? Diana's mouth curves. You want to go nuclear? I want to make sure they can't threaten my daughter ever again. Diana opens a file. Then we leak everything. Not just the safety violations. Every email, every cover-up, every dirty deal. We send it to every journalist, every regulatory agency, every politician who'll listen. We make Harold Hale radioactive. Won't that destroy the company? Maybe, but it'll also protect you. Because once this is public, you're too visible to touch. They can't make you disappear if everyone's watching. Darnell thinks about the voice on the phone, the threat, the sound of Zaire's name in a stranger's mouth. Do it, he says. Diana's fingers fly across the keyboard, files uploading, emails sending, a digital bomb with a timer counting down. This goes live in 6 hours, she says. By morning, Harold Hale will be trending for all the wrong reasons. Roxanne watches the progress bar. He'll never forgive me. Good, Diana says. Forgiveness is overrated. Justice isn't. They sit in silence, watching the files upload, watching the clock tick. At 2 a.m., Darnell goes upstairs. The room is small. A couch, a blanket. Zaire's asleep on the couch, Diana's daughter beside her, both of them peaceful, unaware. He sits on the floor, watches his daughter breathe, counts each inhale, each exhale. She stirs, opens her eyes. Daddy? Yeah, baby, I'm here. Are we safe? He wants to lie, wants to promise her everything will be okay, but he's tired of lying. We're safer than we were yesterday, he says, and we'll be even safer tomorrow. Because you're fighting? Because we're fighting, together. Zaire reaches out, takes his hand. I'm proud of you, Daddy. His throat tightens. Why? Because you're not scared anymore, but he is scared, terrified. He's just learned that fear doesn't mean you stop. It means you keep going anyway. Zaire falls back asleep. Her hand still in his, Darnell sits there, in the dark, listening to his daughter breathe and waits for morning when the world will see everything and Harold Hale will realize he's not fighting an invisible man anymore. He's fighting a father, and fathers don't quit. Downstairs, Diana's computer chimes. The files have finished uploading. The countdown begins, 6 hours until detonation. Outside, in a black car parked 3 blocks away, a man in a suit watches the building through binoculars. He picks up his phone, dials. It's me, he says. They're not leaving. Should I proceed? A pause. Then a voice. Cold. Familiar. Harold Hale's voice. Not yet. Let them think they're winning. A pause. Then take everything from him. The line goes dead. The man in the car settles in and waits. When they threaten what you love most, do you back down or stand taller? Comment below if you've ever had to protect your family from people with power. Subscribe now. The explosion is coming and you need to see how this ends. Turn on notifications. This isn't just one man's fight anymore. It's everyone's. Share this story. Let's make sure they can't silence any of us. The sun comes up at 6:43 a.m. By 6:45, the internet is on fire. Darnell wakes to his phone vibrating so hard it falls off the table. 53 missed calls, 112 texts, emails flooding in faster than he can count. He picks it up, opens Twitter. Hashtag Hale Enterprises is trending, #2 in the United States. Right below some celebrity scandal that'll be forgotten by lunch. This won't be forgotten. He scrolls. Photos of documents, safety violations dated and stamped, emails with Harold Hale's name at the top, cover-up after cover-up, year after year. One email gets shared 10,000 times in 20 minutes, from H. Hale to Operations Team Subject Q3 Cost Reduction. OSHA inspection scheduled for next month. Ensure all documentation reflects compliance. Any issues that can't be resolved quickly should be temporarily masked. We cannot afford delays or fines during acquisition talks. Handle it quietly. The replies are worse. Understood. We'll relocate contractors to different sites during inspection window. Safety reports from Brooks flagged and archived per your instruction. Maintenance team instructed to sign off on incomplete repairs. Darnell's hands shake reading them. 3 years of his reports. Every hazard he flagged. Every risk he documented. All buried, all ignored, all signed off by people who knew better. Diana appears in the doorway, still in yesterday's clothes, eyes red but sharp. You're awake. Good. We need to move. Move where? Press conference, 10 a.m. Federal Building. FBI's making an announcement and they want you there. Darnell's stomach drops. The FBI? They moved fast, opened a full investigation overnight. White-collar crime division. They're not playing. Diana hands him coffee. Drink this. You're going to need it. What about Zaire? She stays here. Marcus is on security. My daughter will keep her entertained. Diana checks her watch. You have 90 minutes to shower and prepare. Roxanne's already getting ready. Prepare for what? Questions, cameras, the entire world asking you to prove you're not lying. Diana's voice softens. This is the hard part, standing in front of people who've already decided what they think about you, convincing them anyway. Darnell drinks the coffee. It's bitter, strong, exactly what he needs. What do I say? The truth, nothing more, nothing less. Diana sits beside him. They'll try to trip you up, ask about your past, your finances, your daughter's mother, anything to make you look unreliable. Don't get defensive, don't get emotional. Just answer simply and move on. And if I can't, then I step in. That's why I'm there. She pauses. But Darnell, you can do this. You've already done the hardest part. What's that? You refuse to disappear. At 9:30, they leave. Darnell wears his best shirt, the one he saved for job interviews that never came. His shoes are polished. His hands still shake. Zaire hugs him at the door. Daddy, are you going to be on TV? Maybe. Like a movie star? He laughs. Empty, scared. Not exactly, baby. Can I watch? Diana kneels down. How about we make cookies instead, and your dad will tell you all about it when he gets back. Zaire considers this. Chocolate chip? Double chocolate chip. Okay. Zaire kisses Darnell's cheek. Good luck, Daddy. Those 3 words carry him to the car. The federal building is downtown. Glass and concrete and American flags that snap in the wind like warnings. Reporters already line the steps. Dozens of them. Cameras, microphones. The circus is in full swing. Marcus drives around back. A side entrance. FBI agents wait there. Serious faces, suits, badges. Mr. Brooks? One of them extends a hand. Agent Whitmore, thanks for coming. Darnell shakes it. Do I have a choice? Always, but this helps us, helps you. Agent Whitmore leads them inside, through hallways that smell like floor wax and bureaucracy. We've been building a case against Hale Enterprises for 6 months. Your documents accelerated everything. 6 months? Why didn't you? We needed evidence, real evidence, not just suspicions. Whitmore stops at a door. You gave us that, dated, signed, undeniable. So what happens now? Now we make it public. Show the world we're taking this seriously. Whitmore opens the door. And you help us do that. The room is full. Agents, lawyers, people in suits who look like they've forgotten how to smile. And Roxanne. She stands by the window, different clothes, hair pulled back, no makeup. She looks smaller without all the corporate armor, more human. She sees Darnell, tries to smile. It doesn't quite work. You ready? She asks. No. Me neither. Agent Whitmore clears his throat. We're going live in 15 minutes. Here's how this works. I make a statement, announce the investigation. Then I'll introduce both of you. You don't have to say much. Just confirm you're cooperating. Answer a few questions if you're comfortable. And if I'm not comfortable, then don't answer. It's that simple. Whitmore checks his watch. But understand, the moment you step in front of those cameras, you become the face of this case. People will judge you, attack you, defend you. You'll never be invisible again. Darnell thinks about the photo, the threat, the voice saying Zaire's name. Good, he says. I'm done being invisible. At 9:58, they walk out to the podium. The noise hits like a wave. Shouted questions, camera shutters clicking, lights so bright Darnell has to squint. Agent Whitmore steps to the microphone, raises a hand. The noise quiets. Good morning. I'm Special Agent Robert Whitmore with the FBI's White Collar Crime Division. This morning, I'm announcing that the Federal Bureau of Investigation has opened a formal investigation into Hale Enterprises and its CEO, Harold Hale, regarding allegations of corporate fraud, safety violations, and witness intimidation. The reporters explode. Questions shouted over each other. Whitmore continues. This investigation was prompted by evidence provided by a former employee, Mr. Darnell Brooks, who documented years of safety violations that were systematically covered up by company leadership. We have also received cooperation from Ms. Roxanne Hale, former COO, who has provided internal communications confirming these allegations. A reporter shouts, Is Harold Hale under arrest? Not at this time. However, we are pursuing multiple criminal charges, including obstruction, fraud, and conspiracy. What about the retaliation claims? Those are part of our investigation. Mr. Brooks was terminated one day after appearing publicly with Ms. Hale. The timing raises serious questions about motive. Another reporter. Ms. Hale, why did you turn on your father? Roxanne steps forward. Darnell sees her hands shaking, but her voice is steady. I turned on behavior that was wrong. My father built a company on cutting corners and silencing people who spoke up. I was part of that system. I'm not anymore. She pauses. And I'll cooperate fully with any investigation to ensure justice is served. Do you regret bringing Mr. Brooks to dinner? Roxanne's jaw tightens. I regret using him. I don't regret the consequences of that choice, because those consequences are revealing truth that needed to be exposed. Mr. Brooks, a reporter near the front. What do you want from this? Darnell steps to the microphone. Every eye on him, every camera pointed at his face. I want my daughter to grow up in a world where speaking up doesn't cost you everything. His voice shakes but doesn't break. I want companies to care more about people than profit, and I want everyone who's ever been told they don't matter to know that they do. The words land. Cameras flash. Another reporter. Are you suing for wrongful termination? Yes. How much are you asking for? Enough to make sure it never happens to someone else. Do you blame Ms. Hale for your situation? Darnell looks at Roxanne. She's watching him, waiting. I blame a system that lets people with power treat everyone else as disposable, he says carefully. Ms. Hale made mistakes, but she's also trying to fix them. That's more than most people do. Roxanne's eyes water, just slightly. Agent Whitmore steps back in. That's all for now. Further questions can be directed to our press office. Thank you. They walk off. Behind them, the reporters keep shouting, but the noise fades as the door closes. Inside, Whitmore turns to them. Well done, both of you. What happens now? Darnell asks. Now we investigate. Could take months, maybe longer. Whitmore hands Darnell a card. You'll be contacted for formal interviews, depositions, potentially testimony if this goes to trial. Trial? If we find enough evidence, and we will, Harold Hale will be indicted. This becomes criminal, not just civil. Whitmore looks between them. You both need to understand, he's not going to take this quietly. As if on cue, Darnell's phone buzzes. A news alert. Harold Hale responds to FBI investigation. He opens it. A video. Harold Hale standing in his office, the skyline behind him. Power radiating from every frame. This morning's announcement by the FBI is nothing more than political theater driven by false accusations from a disgruntled former employee and my own daughter, who is currently struggling with personal issues. His voice is calm, measured. I have spent 40 years building Hale Enterprises into a model of American success. I have created thousands of jobs, contributed millions to charity, and I will not allow my reputation to be destroyed by baseless claims. He pauses, looks directly at the camera. Mr. Brooks, I understand you're angry about losing your job, but manufacturing a crisis to extort money from my company is not the answer. I urge you to reconsider this path before you destroy your own life further. The video ends. Darnell stares at the screen. He just called me a liar. On national television. Good. Diana's voice is sharp. Let him. Every word he says now is evidence. Every denial creates a paper trail. She takes the phone, watches the video. He's scared. You can hear it. He's just hiding it better than most people. He doesn't sound scared. He sounds in control. Because that's what powerful men do. They perform control until someone calls their bluff. Diana hands back the phone. And you just called it. Roxanne sits down, puts her head in her hands. He's going to come after us with everything. Let him. Diana sits beside her. We have the FBI. We have evidence. We have public support building. Do we? Roxanne looks up. Have you seen social media? Half the country thinks I'm a traitor. The other half thinks Darnell's a con artist. Diana pulls up her laptop, shows them. Twitter is split. Exactly like Roxanne said. Roxanne Hale is a hero for standing up to corporate greed. She's just a spoiled rich girl having a tantrum. Darnell Brooks is brave AF. He's obviously lying to get a payout. Jail Harold Hale. This is a witch hunt against successful people. The comments blur together. Some supportive, some vicious, most just noise from people who'll forget about this in a week. But some comments make Darnell's blood run cold. Someone should teach Brooks a lesson about staying in his lane. Hope his daughter's ready for what's coming. People like him always think they're victims. Pathetic. He closes the laptop. I need to check on Zaire. Diana nods. Marcus will drive you back. They stand. Head for the door. Agent Whitmore stops them. Mr. Brooks, one more thing. Darnell turns. We're assigning you protection. Plainclothes officer just until this dies down. You think I'm in danger? I think Harold Hale has a lot to lose, and desperate men make dangerous choices. Whitmore's face is serious. Don't refuse this, for your daughter's sake. Darnell nods. Okay. They leave through the back entrance. Marcus is waiting. The car is running. They're halfway to the car when Darnell sees it. A black sedan. Parked across the street. Same make and model as the one that followed them yesterday. Windows tinted, engine idling. Marcus, Darnell says quietly. Marcus sees it too. His hand moves to his waistband, where his gun is. Get in the car, Marcus says, voice low, calm. Now. They move fast. Darnell opens the door. Roxanne slides in first. P. The black sedan's door opens. A man steps out, white, suit, sunglasses. He doesn't rush, just stands there. Watching. Marcus gets in the driver's seat, locks the doors, pulls out fast. The black sedan doesn't follow. It doesn't have to. The message is clear. We know where you are. We know where you're going. We're always watching. Darnell's phone buzzes. Another unknown number. He almost doesn't answer, but he does. Hello? Silence, then breathing, then a voice, different from last time, female, professional. Mr. Brooks, my name is Catherine Mills. I'm an attorney representing Harold Hale. Her voice is smooth, practiced. I'm calling to offer you a settlement. Darnell's heart pounds. I'm not interested. You haven't heard the terms yet. Mr. Hale is prepared to offer you $500,000, full severance, medical benefits for 5 years, and a sealed settlement that protects both parties. I said I'm not interested. Mr. Brooks, please listen. No, you listen. Darnell's voice hardens. Your client threatened my daughter, tried to silence me, covered up violations that could have killed people. So you can take your settlement, and we also have evidence that could complicate your custody situation. The world stops. What? Your daughter's mother, Keisha Monroe. We've located her. She's expressed interest in revisiting custody arrangements. Catherine's voice stays even, clinical. It would be unfortunate if this case became messier than it needs to be, especially for Zaire. Darnell can't breathe. You're threatening to take my daughter. I'm informing you of complications that could arise if this continues. A pause. The settlement offer stands for 24 hours. After that, things become more difficult for everyone. The line goes dead. Darnell drops the phone. Marcus glances in the rearview mirror. What happened? They found Keisha. Darnell's voice is hollow. They're going to use her to take Zaire. Roxanne turns in her seat. They can't do that, can they? They can do whatever they want. Darnell's hands shake. They have money, lawyers. They'll paint me as unstable, unemployed, fighting a legal battle I can't win. And Keisha will show up looking like a concerned mother who wants her daughter back. But she abandoned Zaire. 3 years ago, they'll say she's better now, got help, wants to make amends. Darnell's voice cracks. And some judge will look at me, unemployed, fighting a billionaire, and decide Zaire's better off with her mother. Marcus drives faster. We need to get you back to Diana, now. They arrive at the office in 12 minutes. Darnell runs inside, finds Diana at her desk. They're going after Zaire, he says. No preamble, no explanation. Diana looks up, sees his face. Sit, tell me everything. He does. The call, the threat, the mention of Keisha. Diana listens, doesn't interrupt. When he finishes, she picks up her phone. Who are you calling? Family court lawyer, best in the state. She waits, then speaks. Linda, it's Diana. I need an emergency custody protection order. Threat of parental abduction. Pause. Yes, I'll send details now. Pause. Thank you. She hangs up. Looks at Darnell. We're filing an emergency motion. It'll prevent Keisha from taking Zaire until a hearing can be scheduled. But Darnell, you need to understand something. What? If they found Keisha, if they convinced her to cooperate, this gets ugly, really ugly. Diana's voice softens. They'll dig up everything, every mistake you've made as a parent, every time you were late picking her up, every bill you couldn't pay. They'll use it all. I've done my best. I know, but family courts don't always care about best. They care about stability, resources, and right now you don't look stable to them. Darnell stands, paces. So what do I do? You fight, like you've been fighting, but you also prepare for the possibility that this gets worse before it gets better. How much worse? Diana doesn't answer right away, and that tells him everything. Upstairs, Zaire is decorating cookies with Diana's daughter, laughing, completely unaware that her world might be about to collapse. Darnell watches from the doorway. She looks up, sees him. Her whole face lights up. "Daddy, look, I made you one." She holds up a cookie. Covered in frosting, sprinkles everywhere. "Perfect." He walks over, takes it. "It's beautiful, baby." "Are you okay? You look sad." "I'm not sad. Just tired." She studies his face. Too smart, too observant. "You're lying." He kneels down, eye level. "You're right. I'm scared." "Of what?" "Of losing you." Zaire wraps her arms around his neck. "You won't lose me, Daddy. We're a team, remember?" He holds her tight, breathes her in, lavender lotion and cookie dough and innocence that won't last much longer. "Yeah," he whispers. "We're a team." His phone buzzes. He doesn't want to check it, but he does. A text, unknown number, a photo of Keisha standing outside a building Darnell recognizes, the courthouse downtown. The message below it is simple. 24 hours, take the deal, or we take her. When they threaten the one thing you'd die to protect, how far would you go? Drop a comment if you've ever had to choose between fighting and protecting what matters most. Subscribe now. This is about to get real. Turn on notifications. The next story changes everything. Share this story with someone who needs to remember that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's fighting anyway.